What's up, guys? JDM here. We got another news video for you guys, and it's actually some pretty big stories. Dana White confirming 317's main event, Ilia Topuria versus either Charles or Islam. We also got JDM cooking Ian Garry. And then I want to talk about your boy Big Marcel. Shout out to Big Marcel. He's actually put out some really big fights throughout the week, throughout the last couple of days, really. He's put out some pretty big fights that I want to talk about, some really hype fights, I'm not going to lie. So we'll get to that at the end. But also, Alex Pereira says he has fight news as well, but I can't find the tweet, so I'll just put the screenshot up, but we'll do that later. We'll start with this. JDM, Bilal Muhammad. Obviously, they just had a press conference. It was mid. It was mid. But Dana White did confirm. Well, let's just listen to this.
Just lastly for Dana, Ilia Topuria did an interview a few minutes ago where he said the winner of this fight is going to determine whether he fights Islam Makhachev or Charles Oliveira on International Fight Week. Can you confirm that that's the stakes attached to this main event too?
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts right now, and yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Why does he not just say that's true? Why is Dana so coy? Why doesn't he just say, yeah, it's true? The winner of this fight will probably... why doesn't... He always has to be yeah, I'd say that's accurate. Yeah, it's looking likely. Bro, shut the fuck up. Anyways, Ilia Topuria, if you guys don't know, earlier today, he basically confirmed that, yes, he's fighting on 317, and his opponent will either be Charles or Islam Makhachev. We kind of knew this already, but Dana has confirmed it. And it kind of adds a lot of, I would even say hype to JDM versus Bilal, because if JDM wins, which is what I want, most of you guys want, but if JDM wins, we're not getting Makhachev Topuria, sadly. I don't think ever, to be honest with you. It's kind of a now or never thing, I believe. If Bilal wins and retains the belt, Makhachev Topuria. So, it's one of those where it's if Bilal wins, you get Bilal. He's gonna stay at welterweight. You gotta deal with Bilal as champion, but that means we're getting Makhachev versus Topuria. But if JDM wins, you get a new champ. JDM, he's the most hyped welterweight in the division right now. But at the same time, sadly, it means we're gonna get Charles Oliveira versus Topuria, and then Makhachev is gonna face JDM, which is a good fight in itself. But I don't know. I really wish that this wasn't even a choice. No offense, but I really wish it was just Makhachev is facing Ilia in 6 weeks at 317. I wish this wasn't an option. I think the fighters getting this much freedom is a bit, just a little bit much. I mean, again, I want JDM to win, but I really want Makhachev versus Topuria, because no offense to Charles Oliveira. He's a star. I love him. We all love Charles. But I know how Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira goes. I'm sorry to say that, and you can call me an Ilia Glazer, and I am an Ilia fan. I wouldn't consider myself an Ilia Glazer, but I am a fan of Ilia. But we know how that fight goes. We know how Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira goes. Charles Oliveira gets dropped every single fight of his entire career. He almost got finished by Chandler, a heavily washed Michael Chandler in the 5th round, by the way. Gaethje dropped him a couple of times. Poirier almost had him out of there once or twice. I can keep going. Makhachev dropped him and subbed him. This guy has the worst chance. He has great recovery. I mean, Chandler almost finished him in their first fight as well. I can keep going, bro. He has great recovery, but he's very chinny, very hittable. I just think it's not going to end that differently. I think Topuria is going to finish him, though. He's not going to just let him sit at the bottom with his hands behind his head. And no, Topuria is not terrified of Charles's freaking ground game. I think Topuria is going to KO Charles, which is why I want to see him Makhachev, because Makhachev is a very hard fight. Now, and this is just my opinion, spoiler alert, I would pick him to beat Makhachev. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to lie, I would pick him to beat Makhachev, even though I got to do more research and blah, blah, blah. My point is, I would much, dare I say this, I think I would sacrifice JDM losing and Bilal retaining. I would sacrifice that and seeing JDM as new champion and all that. I would take that if it means we get Makhachev Topuria. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to say it. I'm not. I don't know, but Dana's confirmed it. We've known this already, but I just wanted to do another video on it and milk the subject a bit. But anyways, JDM cucked Ian Garry. He cooked Ian Garry. Let's just listen to this.
Very vocal backup opponent, and has it been distracting? Were you tempted by the M&Ms at all?
I don't think that's actually Ian's son. And I don't like M&Ms.
Thank you, Jack.
First of all, soy Canadian crowd for booing JDM, but the crowd is probably full of Bilal Muhammad's because it's Canada. Anyways, JD, look at JDM's smile, by the way, after saying that line. The crowd gave no reaction to it, but it was a pretty good line from JDM. I don't even think that's his son. JDM has had JDM is weird, man. There was a moment actually with a reporter where the reporter said something stupid about JDM's nose and he gave him a death stare. JDM has been kind of cooking this media week, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. JDM cooks Ian Garry. If you want to talk about this, Ian Garry, I believe twice now has given JDM M&Ms. I think the first time he sent his son to give him M&Ms. Then the second time he actually put it on some scales or something. I don't know if that one was just a skit. I don't know. Ian Garry's gay and retarded. I truly I don't like Ian Garry. He steps up. He saved the Kansas City card and he fought Shavkat on short notice. I respect him from a fighter's aspect, but bro, personally, the guy seems like a fucking douchebag. Why he's giving JDM fucking M&Ms? I hope JDM threw that shit in the trash. I don't care. I don't give a fuck, bro. Base JDM, honestly. Now let's talk about some fight announcements. Big Marcel, shout out to Big Marcel. He always tweets the fights. I just wanted to use his Twitter because he has all of the fights. I could have used some other big Twitter name, but shout out to Big Marcel. Some big fights have been announced, or have been tweeted at least from him. Now, who cares about this fight, right? Julius Walker versus some bum. Nobody cares. Let's keep going. This is a good fight. Jack Hermansson versus Gregory Rodriguez for UFC 317. I love this fight personally. I really like Gregory Rodriguez. And Jack Hermansson, the GOAT, he's back. The boy is back. This is a really solid fight, honestly. Not much to say. It's a good fight for both guys. Stylistically, I think it's winnable for both. And it's a good bounce-back fight for Gregory. I think Hermansson is coming off of a win, but obviously his inactivity, he's not going to draw a lucky card, so he's going to have to fight a monster in Gregory Rodriguez, but it's still going to be an awesome fight, hopefully. Adam Fugit versus Islam Dulatov. Islam Dulatov is, I believe, this really hyped-up German prospect. I believe he's Dagestani, but he's also German. I think he fights out of Germany. And yeah, he's got a lot of hype behind him. So yeah, I'm excited for this. Yeah, there's not much else to say. I think this is going to be a good fight. I think he wins this one pretty much. It's going to be a showcase for him. But yeah, this is a pretty hyped up fight as well because he's a pretty big name. Women's fight nobody cares about. Asu Amabayev will fight Ramazan Tamirov. That's interesting. So in Abu Dhabi, wow, they're fighting. We got a EV versus an OV. Wow, for the first time ever. I'm kidding, guys. It's a joke. It's not often you see these types of guys fight each other, though. Seems like a decent fight. I don't really care for Asu Amabayev. Ramazan Tamirov is okay. I think he got a KO in his last fight, so he's pretty decent. I'll probably pick him to beat Asu Amabayev, to be honest. Then, I don't know, PFL. Who cares about the PFL? Let's keep going. Ricky Simon versus Charles Jourdain. This is another good fight. I have to burp, but I'm going to try to talk through it. Okay, it's coming out. Okay. Ricky Simon versus Charles Jourdain. Atlanta, Georgia. Another good fight. This Atlanta card is looking really nice. Unironically, UFC Atlanta is looking better than UFC 315 this weekend. Unironically. Jourdain, Ricky Simon, stylistically, this is a really exciting fight. Who wins? I actually don't know. I'd probably pick Charles Jourdain, but Ricky Simon is coming off of a first-round KO, so I love this fight as well, honestly. We can keep going. Cody Garbrandt is back, and he's gonna fight Heine Barcelos at UFC Atlanta. What the fuck? UFC Atlanta is like sneakily fucking fire, bro. What the hell? UFC Atlanta. I know these aren't like insane fights, by the way. Like I know I'm like kind of overhyping. I know it's only Garbrandt, Heine Barcelos, but it's still a nice fight. Like Cody Garbrandt, I always like seeing him fight. You know, always like rooting for him. And Heine Barcelos just fraud checked Payton Talbot, which is sad because this means that if Payton Talbot would have won, we could have saw Garbrandt versus Payton Talbot. But we got to see this old Brazilian man. But it is what it is. Still, Garbrandt is back. I love this fight. Andre Lima versus Felipe Bunez, solid fight. Another big fight. Forgot about this fight as well. UFC 318. Wow, another big fight. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. UFC 318. That's on the Louisiana card. Yeah, this is a good fight. This is a really good fight. I think it's perfect. Both guys have beef. Dude, Brendan Allen's physique is shit, huh? Both guys have beef. I think it's perfect. Both guys are the biggest dumbasses in the sport as well. So I can't wait to see like the two just meatheads go at it. Pause. And I don't even know who I'd pick. Probably Brendan Allen, to be honest. But he's an idiot. He will somehow lose to Marvin Vettori, but at the same time, Marvin Vettori will somehow fumble a finish or something against Brendan Allen. So I kind of sneakily am excited for this one. And I'm glad it's on 318. You know, it kind of deserves that big of a spotlight, in my opinion. I'm hyped for it, you know, believe it or not. It could end up being a shit fight. You know, stylistically, sometimes these two could have shit fights. It could be kind of good, though. You never know. You never know. I believe, I know, we're still going. I thought that was it. But Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. My boy Calvin Kattar, man. Calvin Kattar is being fed to the wolves, man. Calvin Kattar, what are you doing, man? Why are you accepting every fight? You got to be like the Dagestanis and say no to everything. Or like you got to be like Charles Oliveira and be like, no. You got to be like Armin Sarukian. Come on, Kattar. I know you're an American Chad, but you're supposed to say no. Damn, man. But anyway, seriously, though. Steve Garcia, Calvin Kattar. I love this fight, but I don't love the fact that Calvin Kattar might get chinned. But I do love this fight because Steve Garcia is not a Yusuf Zalal. He's not going to be running around the cage like a little monkey. So, wait, I called him a monkey, but he's... Let's just move on. I didn't mean anything by that. Okay, Johnny Walker is out, by the way, of UFC 316. And so now... Hazmat Mirzakhanov will take on Renzo Ribeiro. Who cares? And then we're still going to go Chaos Williams, Uros Medic. Another good fight, UFC 316. UFC 316, you know, it's a solid fight to put on the prelims. I don't mind it at all. I still think UFC 316 is missing like a really big fight. I still think it's missing like a Peter Yan versus so-and-so. Or like it's missing that really, really nice feature fight. But it's a solid card. But I'm pretty sure this is it. Tracy Cortez versus Viviane Araújo. Nobody cares. It's women's MMA. And yeah, I think that's it. So, yeah. And as for Alex Pereira, apparently Alex Pereira has said he's got some fight news coming soon. He actually put it in the UFC Instagram chat or something. So I'll put it up on the screen. He said he got fight news coming soon. So genuinely, I don't think he was hacked yesterday, I want to say, or 2 days ago, whenever it was. I really don't think he was hacked. I think that was a negotiation tactic. I think the UFC have now given him the fight he wanted, whether it's Ankalaev, whatever it is, I don't know. They've given him the fight. They've given him whatever money he's asked for, and I think we're going to have some news on Ankalaev versus Pereira, hopefully very soon, seemingly. So that's about it. I've tried to get as much news as I can. I'm sure I've missed a couple of small things, but overall, it's a pretty decent news day, to be honest. I was complaining yesterday that it was a slow news day. A slow news day. But today was not a slow news day. Today was a pretty Also, I forgot to mention, Ilia Topuria has apparently changed his nickname back to El Matador. So people shitted on La Leyenda. I didn't mind La Leyenda. I thought it was okay. But El Matador is always going to be a better nickname, and he realized that and he changed it back. I just wanted to mention that. I forgot to bring that up. But anyways, make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. What are you guys' thoughts on the news? Some of the big fights that have been announced. Are you guys now hoping after this recent development? Are you guys now hoping that Bilal retains or JDM wins? Just let me know. Like, just comment, please, and become a member in the description. And I love you guys so much. God bless you all. Peace.